Hi, it's Women's Day and I am Aparna Gujral, the design head for Ganjam, and today I'm going to take you through my design journey.
How would Aparna describe Aparna Gujral, the profession?
To describe myself as a designer who has entered design management, someone who likes to stay relevant with the design trends that are happening, and someone who is a full-time mom.
Today, there's an enormous emphasis on what's trending and what's not, and that tends to get very overwhelming for design students. So, what is a good designer's secret to staying on top of trends and predicting them?
I understand you saying that it gets overwhelming. It has always been overwhelming. So when we were students, and I'm talking about being a student from NIFT, where we had access to all the latest forecasts that used to come. So it used to be overwhelming trying to, and if you've ever seen those forecast catalogs or magazines that come in, it is overwhelming at the end of when you go through it because there's so many swatches, there's so many stories, there's so much happening. As you kind of mature in the field of design, you're able to see which trend applies to the kind of line you're working in. So if there are 5 stories that a certain forecasting service is coming out with, it depends who you're working for. So if I am today working for Ganjam, the trend that will work for a luxury premium brand, such as the brand I work for, would be different. And a trend that would be coming out for, say, if I was working for children's watches for Esprit, would be different.
Could you shed some light on the differences in working in a smaller design studio as compared to a bigger company like, say, Ganjam, for example?
Whether it's small or whether it's big, who the design studio is managed by makes the difference. You can have creativity happening in smaller studios much more than creativity happening in larger studios, and vice versa. I think it depends upon the management of the company and what is their vision for the product. And if the vision of the management team is that they want to be led by design and they feel that design is going to take their product to the next level, or they feel that that is the edge that they have over their competitors, then such design studios will always encourage good design. So it's not the size that really dictates good design. I think it is who's at the helm of the design studio that matters. There are these perks that you have working with larger companies, which I'm not sure how much they are in smaller companies. But I started my career with Titan Industries, and it was a larger company. And at that point of time, I never looked at the salary. I only looked at the exposure that I was going to get. And I think that's the best decision that I made in my life. And I continue to tell that to all the children that when you're joining a company, look where you're going to learn. And don't look at the money initially, because I think companies teach you a lot more than what the design school teaches. Or let me just say that they teach you what the design schools haven't taught.
In today's competitive environment, what do you look for while recruiting someone besides obvious technical skill?
I work for a design company that is a luxury brand. And when you are luxury, detailing is very important. The beauty is in the ability for the designer to see details. And for me, when I'm looking at a designer, I first would like to see, because it's very important that the designer should have the ability and the eye for details. So that is something that's very important. We're looking at design students who have, who are eager to learn. Today, unfortunately, a lot of design students come in with an air that I'm a designer. When you graduate, you feel, oh, I'm a designer and I'm like this gift to the company. You're not. And you're not indispensable. Nobody's indispensable, neither am I. And I think it's very important when we are recruiting people that we are looking at people who really want to learn. People who are wanting to work, people who are wanting to genuinely be a part of the team and contribute in creating something that's good, something that's different. So it's a mix of all of these that we are looking at when we are recruiting students.
there's still an enormous amount of skepticism among Indian parents about design being a sustainable career. What would you say to them?
First, I would say look at me. And there are many me's all over today. I'm very grateful to my parents because I come from a family actually where my dad has done like a PhD from Rochester. I have a brother who did engineering from Stanford. My husband has studied the computers from London, and I did design in India. So in that scenario, I was very, very grateful to everyone in my life who has allowed me to bloom in the way and the manner that I wanted to do. And I feel sad when I see parents pushing very, very creative children towards careers where I can see exhaustion happening in their lives. I'm not sure what are we looking at. Why is it that design is not something that is celebrated? There isn't a lifeline where I could say that I stopped being creative at 20 or I stopped being creative at 30. But there is a lifeline in IT. At 50, you're exhausted. Who recruits after 50? Where is the recruitment? It's downward. So I don't feel that with design. Today, I may want to even start freelancing on my own at the age of 50. I may want to set up something on my own at the age of 50. I may want to continue doing that. I may start writing books on design at the age of 60. I wake up in the morning and I love to go to work. I would like to ask those parents who are pushing their children into the line that they would want them to do, are they really enjoying, going into work every morning? And are you liking what you're doing? And if you're not loving what you're doing, why are you sending the child that you love the most into a direction on a life that you have not enjoyed? So I would just say that design is fantastic. The salaries are great if the person has a great ability, and you don't really need to have graduated from the best of institutes, but you need to have great creativity. It has to be identified by the parent, and I think sky is the limit for such people.